pillagers. They're staring at me. I'm staring at them. They have their crossbows out. But I've got my sword. And let's not forget my shield before I get killed. And let's go and try to get this captain killed without actually getting bad omen. Oh my god. Most of them have enchanted crossbows, so they probably have mending. Oh my god. Did I say mending? I meant piercing. And look at look at them chasing me with all their willpower. And they're all dead now. And I look like a porcupine. Anyways, the arrows are gone, the scars have healed, and it's another day here on the OmathaCraft Season 5 server. You join me back here where we last ended off the previous video over at my Dripstone Farm. As you can see, this place has changed pretty significantly. We went from having one completed module to 3 modules, filling up this one plot which we laid before we started working on this project. But I didn't stop there. I found it so much fun making these Dripstone Farms to the point that I have laid out 3 more squares. Well, not squares, they're pretty much rectangles, but I've laid out 3 more plots at the same size as the first one, which I'm going to fill with dripstone farms. And as you can see, I'm already halfway through filling the second one. Now, I think it's safe to say that these 4 modules right here give me enough dripstone per AFK session to last me for a good amount of time, or well, for what I need it for. But at this point, I'm not doing it for the dripstone. I am so committed to filling up these 3 extra plots with dripstone farms, mainly because, again, I find it fun making these dripstone farms, and because it would be a really cool project to say that I have completed at a very early stage of the game. But I'm running into a bit of an issue making these farms. But before we get to that, as you can see behind me right here, a giant golden nugget has appeared in communal. But the truth of the matter is, this is a golden carrot. And this golden carrot here is the information board for a brand new minigame. Well, not really a brand new minigame, but a minigame that has popped up in communal. You might have already spotted it, but this is the Darret 2.0. If you remember from last season, a minigame called the Darret was started, but it never ended, which is why we're bringing it back this season. Let's read through the rules and the information board real quickly. Welcome to the Darret 2.0. What's different this time around? Nothing except new faces and new opportunities for mischief. The rules are still simple. First person to 30 points wins. To get points, you must do a truth or dare with the person that tags you with the Darret. There are 5 options once you are tagged. You can either do a easy truth or dare for 1 point, or a hard truth or dare for 3 points. Alternatively, you may pass and get -1 points. You can go into the negative, so watch out. Put whatever you can on the provided pedestal to enter the game. Good luck to everyone. This is the pedestal right here, and this represents the prize pool. I myself, I'm going to add 1 diamond block to it, because I'm going to sign myself up, and all I have to do is literally add my name onto the board. I'm gonna dye it red, and I'm also going to highlight it with the glow ink sac. There we go. We have been up to a lot of shenanigans with the Darret last season, and I am very excited to see what this minigame has for us this season. But we have to wait until the Darret actually gets passed on to us. For now, we're back at the Dripstone Farm, and I mentioned running into an issue while in the process of extending this farm. And that issue is resources. Mainly both redstone and cobblestone. As you can see, this build is very cobble and redstone heavy. I mean, you need the redstone and cobble for both the pistons and the observers. I'm also using cobblestone for the areas where the redstone goes, and I am also using redstone repeaters here in the back, which are currently hidden. That needs a lot of redstone to maintain. I'm also using the redstone for the rails down below, and it's really hard keeping up with the demand for both of those resources. Other than that, I'm all good for stuff. I mean, the wood, I've been chopping wood for quite a long time, and I managed to get a healthy amount of that. I've got a healthy amount of quartz for the observers, but redstone and cobblestone, those are a completely different matter, because they're easy to come by, don't get me wrong. Like, all you have to do is go mining for like 5 minutes, and you've already got like a stack of cobblestone, probably 2 stacks of redstone, something like that. But for me, mining gets really boring, so I'm gonna need to find myself a way to get both of those resources without having to go mining. And guess what? I have already found a way to get a hold of both the redstone and the cobblestone, and that is by farming them. Now, the only way to farm redstone is by getting it from witches, which I can't do because I don't have a witch hut in my vicinity. But my neighbor right here to the north of me, Mr. Crafty MC Fish, has a witch hut. Actually has multiple witch huts, and as you can see over there, has a witch farm of his own. So I decided to make a deal with him to take some of his redstone cobblestone from the witch farm, and he kindly said that I could take as much redstone as I wanted. But I can't depend on anyone else for the cobblestone. I'm gonna have to work for it on my own. So I have laid out this little area over here at the top of the hill, right next to where my dripstone farm is, and this is where we're going to be working in today's video. Right here, we're gonna be making a cobblestone farm, and not just any cobblestone farm, a fully automatic cobblestone generator. A design made by El Mango, which is super efficient. I just need to get myself a handful of materials. I think I've got everything I need from these chests over here. I'm gonna go back to communal, check my chests over there so I could get the rest of the stuff I'm going to need, and then we can start working on this cobblestone generator. I now have everything I need to start working on this cobblestone generator. First step is to make a funnel towards this chest. Step number 2 is working on adding in the actual body of the cobblestone generator. First part of the body is the obsidian, and in the center here we're gonna have one piece where the TNT is going to drop to destroy all the cobblestone. On this side over here we're gonna have a stack of stairs. I'm using copper purely for aesthetics. On the opposite side here at the back we're gonna have a similar pattern, but the bottom block here is gonna be a trapdoor, which we are going to waterlog. So for a bit of a while this place is gonna be quite the mess. We're also gonna have to waterlog the stairs. I did say this place is gonna be quite the mess, so I'm going to clean up the mess by encasing the water sources with glass like so. On the inside here we're placing temporary blocks, but these blocks aren't actually temporary. They're gonna keep coming back because this is where the cobblestone is actually gonna go. And to the sides we're gonna do something a bit risky, and that is starting to place in the lava. I think the safest way to do this is keeping the glass in my offhand and the lava in my main hand. So what I'm gonna do, place the lava, place the glass. Simple as that. That is all now complete. Next step is to get in the Tnt Duper, which is going to make this farm fully automatic just the way we want. And to make that we need to extend the obsidian, place a trapdoor right here. We're going to need to waterlog them. Actually no, we don't have to waterlog it, I think. Never mind, we do. Next step, place a fence gate right here and a wall right here. Next part is to start adding in the redstone. Now since here on OmathaCraft the fire tick is off, we are safe to use wood for this bit. We're gonna need to place a piston right here and one right here. We're gonna put an observer right here facing like so, and a lever on this block, then we turn it on, and let's not forget a redstone repeater right here. And here is where the fun part begins. We start placing in the slime, we get our detector rail and the minecart to place them like so, and now this thing is pretty much complete and ready to go, but there are 3 missing pieces. First thing, we need to replace this block right here with packed ice. We need 1 dead coral fan, which is gonna go right here, and a piece of TNT, which I can go get right now, but the other 2 missing pieces of the puzzle I don't have on me, because to obtain them I need silk touch, and my pickaxe right here has everything apart from silk touch. And I never told you, by the way, this is Swift 2.0. The original Swift has sadly passed away in lava. Now I have 2 options for getting silk touch. I can either buy it here over at Afraid's shop for 2 diamonds, or I could use the spider farm right here to get myself a whole bunch of XP, then enchant myself a diamond pickaxe. But I'm short on diamonds, and the process of getting EXP here over at the cave spider farm is really slow. It gets very repetitive and boring very quickly. So I have thought to myself and found a 3rd solution, and that is to make another farm. This farm is gonna be a kelp farm, which I'm going to hook up into an EXP bank. And from the EXP I get from the EXP bank, I can enchant myself a diamond pickaxe. Now I know it'd be a lot faster to get EXP from the cave spider farm, or to just buy myself a book, as they are really cheap. But who doesn't like themselves a good EXP bank? I for sure do. Now I know the size of this kelp farm is gonna be really small. Well, the kelp farm and the EXP bank are very small in this little plot, but this size is really temporary, mostly because resources are currently very limited. But I feel like this is a good size that would get us going for a good amount of time, so I'm going to stick with it for the time being, and of course extend when the time comes. Now I need to go get the materials to make this thing. I didn't actually realize how small this thing would turn out to be. Anyways, I ended up making a mistake during the making of this kelp farm, and I have to move this glass by 1 block forward. Now, that would be such a waste punching it with my fist. As you can see, I already punched a whole bunch with my fist without silk touch, and that was a pain. So, I asked in the chat if I could borrow somebody's silk touch pick, and JLR has offered me to have a free silk touch book, and I accepted because, well, it's better than having nothing to destroy this with. So, making this kelp farm is kind of pointless, and also adding an XP bank to it. So I guess we could scrap this idea together, but I'm still going to make it in the future because it's a cool project. Most of my builds and projects this season I make just because they're cool, not to serve any sort of purpose at this point. So I got my book from JLR, and as I was thinking about putting it on a pickaxe or a shovel or an axe or something like that, I remembered that I currently don't have any levels to my name. And that is because I went through some more trouble. Rover. What happened, Cal?
I don't even... Look at the tip of the building.
Oh my goodness, no! I swear every time I have a chat with somebody on the server, I come out all hurt with bruises and deaths and everything. Fast forward a bit, I have resorted to mining the glass with my bare fist without silk touch. As you can see, I have the silk touch book on me right here, and I have managed to fix and complete the kelp farm. As you can see, it's fully working. We have the kelp popping off when reaching the observer. They go up to the top and then flow into this water stream, which then drops them down through the center into this platform. Under this platform, we have a hopper minecart going back and forth on top of a whole bunch of hoppers. These hoppers lead into the smokers because smokers smelt kelp faster than a normal furnace. Of course, these smokers are supposed to have fuel in them, but I managed to run out of that. But I have already thought of that, and I already have a plan to stop myself from running out of fuel. Now, there's a little flaw with the farm, and that is that you would find that most of the kelp ends up in the center. As you can see, those two here in the center have the most kelp, and then going further away, the kelp gets less and less available. And that is because they are not spread evenly, even though the hopper minecart constantly goes back and forth through it. And that is because the kelp basically ends up in the center, as you can see right here, and as soon as it's picked up, it goes through the hopper into the center. So I need to change that so the kelp actually gets spread out evenly, and we can use the fuel evenly amongst all the smokers. Simple fix is to just go up to the top right here, get rid of the water, and we can also get rid of the glass down below. So now when the kelp drops from the top, they should get evenly distributed into the smokers. And I just saw, yep, there are some phantoms spawning on top of me, so I'm just gonna go to bed right now. Back to our kelp farm. I have already left it running for quite a bit of time before I started recording again, and as you can see, we have a couple of stacks of dried kelp, and this is actually going to come really useful. We're not going to throw it out. I'm not going to use it for food, but I'm going to use it to craft the dried kelp blocks. And fun fact, the dried kelp blocks can be used as fuel, so I can evenly distribute these among the smokers, and as you can see, they start running and we can use this for fuel. So basically, the kelp farm and the XP bank is powering itself. Not even 3 whole minutes later, and we already have over 2 stacks of dried kelp. We can take this out, craft it into blocks, and put it straight back into the XP bank. I'm now going to leave this farm running for a good amount of time and then come back to take out all the EXP and see how well this farm can do us. 2 days later, I now have myself a brand new blue spyglass, and the kelp farm has been working pretty well. As you can see, we have some kelp coming through. We just got a harvest there. I have added an extra layer during the time I've been AFK. Well, I haven't been AFK since I've been working. I've come here just to add that one little layer, and of course I've come here every so often to put in the fuel in the smokers to make sure that every time we get a harvest, we have some kelp smelting to get even more dried kelp to turn it into blocks, and then repeat the process over and over again. Now, I haven't checked this thing for quite a bit of time. I have put a decent amount of fuel in the smokers and then just left it running until I came back here and started recording again. So let's see how much dried kelp we got in the amount of time which I haven't been here. We open the chest and oh my god, that is a pretty good amount of dried kelp. We have 2 rows of the dried kelp. Let me check again. Yep, 2 rows, which is about 18 stacks of dried kelp. I'm gonna go over there now, start crafting it into blocks and put it straight back into the smokers again. But now we need to do the ultimate test. How much XP does this thing bring us? I mean, we've only been judging the amount of kelp we're getting from this thing, but we never checked on the XP that this thing gives us, which is pretty wrong considering the fact that the only reason I made this thing is to get EXP. So I think it's about time that we do that. What I'm gonna do is flick this lever, which is gonna turn on the redstone, locking the hoppers down below. And as you can see, the dried kelp is gonna stay in the smoker. So what I'm gonna do is get rid of my armor. And how about the first test we do is seeing how much durability this thing can repair. So let's take out some dried kelp and... okay, we did not get that much. Okay, let's see the second furnace. Okay, a little bit more. A little bit more. Okay, not too bad. I mean, it got us more than halfway through the durability. That's not too bad, is it? Okay, I'm just gonna be honest. For the time that this thing has been running, that is really, really bad. Or maybe because this farm is pretty small. For now, though, I have a couple of things to show you. Starting from right here next to the dripstone farm, well, inside the borders of the dripstone farm, I have gotten out of control during the buildings. What I have done is I started decorating this area. As you can see, right here in the center, we have this little smooth stone pathway. This is not gonna be permanent. I'd like to change that and try to include some of the brand new 1.17 blocks, so we're gonna see what we can do on that front. I have also added these little lampposts here, which I think are quite nice in my opinion. And you might have noticed this big yellow thing behind the kelp farm. This thing has been called a submarine on multiple occasions, but I assure you this is not a submarine with wheels. However, this is going to be a big boom lift, or some might call it a construction lift. And this is the beginning of the theme I'm going for this little industrial area right here. Of course, this place started with only a dripstone farm. I didn't plan on making like this whole entire area just purely for farms, but since we're doing that now, I have decided to think up of a theme and a way to decorate this place. And I thought to myself, what would be the best way to do that? And the first idea that came to mind is turning it into a giant construction site. So for decoration and aesthetics purposes, we're gonna have big construction equipment which we're gonna place all around the place. So here behind the kelp farm, we're gonna have a boom lift or a construction lift, and this is not just going to be for decoration. We're also going to be able to use this thing. As you can see, I have extended the plot where the kelp farm is going to go, and right behind it is the boom lift, which is going to be very helpful because we're also going to have scaffolding inside this thing, which we're going to try to make it look nice with the scaffolding, and hopefully it's going to be able to help us to get up high instead of having to use ladders like so. We can just go in the boom lift and go up in the scaffolding and go to the layer we want to go to work on the kelp farm once we start expanding it. What I have also done is I have sorted myself out with a silk touch pickaxe so I can finally finish this cobblestone farm. This thing should have been finished a long time ago, but of course I got distracted on multiple occasions. So I have crafted myself a new diamond pickaxe, added silk touch on it. I have gotten myself the eyes. There are only two more missing pieces of the puzzle. That is the Coral Reef and the TNT. I already said that I have the TNT on me. I just need to get myself the coral fan. So now it's time for me to go on a trip to a coral reef to get myself some coral fans so we can finally finish the cobblestone farm. And oh, I'm smacking into everything. I have arrived at the coral reef and it just came to me that I should have brought a bucket with me so I could take a whole bunch of pufferfish with me back home. Why didn't I think of that before I came here? Oh my god, that was such a missed opportunity. While we're here, we might as well take as much coral as we can. We can also take a whole bunch of sea pickles with us back home. Hold on a minute. That drowned dropped a gold ingot. I thought that wasn't supposed to happen in 1.17. Or that's probably a bug in 1.17.1 since we just recently updated. We are now back home again. Just time for us to add in the last missing pieces of the puzzle for the cobblestone generator. First, we put the fan right here. This is gonna die off in a little bit. It's not gonna take too long. Yep, there we go. It has died. And then all that's left is the TNT. We place the thing right there. And this thing and the cobblestone generator should hopefully be fully functioning. All I have to do is press this one little lever here and it's gonna be up and running. So let's do that right now. There we go. The lever has been flicked and it should work. Oh, I placed the observer facing the wrong way. There we go. We now do that, and do that again. And, okay, let's get away. Oh, I heard the TNT going off. Oh my god, I can hear it. It's working. It is working. And the cobblestone is getting into the chest. This is amazing. Now we just need to do a little bit of cleaning up like so. And oh, we're taking damage from the outside. That's not good. But there we have it. The cobblestone generator is fully completed and functioning. Oh my god, I love this thing. 2 minutes, probably 3 minutes or something. And we already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Over 6 stacks of cobblestone. And we still have more coming in through the hoppers. Oh my god. This farm is pretty insane. This thing can now cover all of our cobblestone needs and it's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna turn it off for now though because I am going to leave the chunks currently because there's one more thing that I'd like to do before we end off today's video, and that is prepare for the next one. There's really not much to do in preparation for the next video, but there's just one little, or actually 2 little small things which I need to do, and those things include the spyglass. First we wonder, is it a bird? Then we ask, oh my god, oh my goodness, is it a balloon? Oh, that was perfect. As dangerous as that was, it was really fun and I would really like to try and do that again. Anyways, you now probably got a good hint of what we're going to do in the next video. Sadly though, I have run out of time for this one. If you have enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, also consider subscribing as that would be greatly appreciated. And for now, I'm gonna see you all in the next video. Be sure to tune in because we're gonna be doing a lot of exciting things. For now, I'll see you guys in the next one. Farewell, lads.